Hi everyone, thought I'd bring you a live video on a cold and wet rainy day. Well, it's not too cold actually, but anyway, so I'm going to show you a technique using the Stamparatus with a corner bouquet stamp set. So this is the stamp set, celebration stamp set. You can get this free with a £45 order. And then the sentiment is going to come from another celebration stamp set called Heal Your Heart, which is absolutely lovely. I always need thank you cards, so I'm going to use the thank you again, but we're in this together is lovely, and wishing I could heal your heart, sorry for your loss. Some very compassionate, understanding sentiments there. So that's going to be the sentiment. This is the stamp set we're using for the technique. It's using Stamp and Write markers, and this is another card that I've done with it, with a Blackberry Bliss card base and Old Olive, and then the stamping. So I might actually change this. These ones I use daffodil, crushed curry I think was the yellow, pumpkin pie, bit of mango melody, Blackberry Bliss, Old Olive and mossy meadow. So I think I might change the colours this time to something different. So let's see what we come up with. So I've got my piece of Whisper White cardstock. Now it's interesting because you can see the difference between, this is Crafter's Companion White cardstock that I got when we stopped doing Whisper White, because I didn't know how long it would be till I got some more Whisper White, but I have actually got some more now. And you can see the difference between Crafter's Companion. If I just try and get more light, it would help. That's a bit better, I think. And I think the Whisper White is far better. It absorbs the ink better and it looks better. So that's the Crafter's Companion, and that is the Whisper White. Okay, so first of all I'm going to put my stamp on. So I'm going to use the magnets just to keep it in place, because I don't want it to move once I have got the stamp in place, because I'm going to be repeat stamping. So this technique is basically called repeat stamping using the Stamparatus. So I'm using the larger stamp here, so I'm just going to put it on. As far as I can tell, that's straight. Hopefully, let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's okay. And I've made a mistake in the sense that I have got the cushion on, and because it's a cling rubber stamp, I don't need this cushion, so I can put that out of the way because there's a cushion on the stamps already. So I'm just going to put that down again and just move this again so it's in the right place. I'm glad I discovered that. I mean, you can get away with it, but it's put stress on the hinges, so probably not a very good idea. So there we go, we're good to go. Okay, now let me see if I can move this so you can watch me actually inking up the stamp. Kind of want it so you can see both, so hopefully you can see a bit of both there. So as I said, this is a repeat stamping technique. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is the greens. So I'm just going to do that now. So let's see. I'm going to take some Old Olive to start with, and I think you can just see here I'm inking up my green. Using the Stamp and Write markers instead of the sponge daubers is an advantage in the sense that you can pick out more easily the bits that you want to ink up. If you use the sponge daubers, you get a more generalised effect, but with the Stamp and Write markers you can actually pick out what you want to ink up, which is good. So I can see I want to ink up all of that, so I'm just going to push it down. Just going to get that out of the way and just put my hand over, and then I'm going to pull it back again. Hopefully you can just see a bit of both. So as you can see, there's not a lot there at the moment, but it will develop as I go on. So I want a little bit more here. And so the lovely thing about repeat stamping is you can just add different shades as well. So I'm just going to do the Old Olive again, and then I'm just going to add some mossy meadow in streaks to give a little bit of shading like this. And you never know how it's going to turn out. I've done this with Winter Woods. I think I've done a video on that. If you're on YouTube, just look down at my videos and you can see there a bit of shading. So I'm just going to put those two to one side at the moment. And I want a fairly sharp yellow, so I'm going to go for crushed curry. Just colour some off to make sure that it's going to come out nicely. In fact, actually, I might go for Daffodil Delight, I think, because I think it's a brighter yellow because it's in the brights, whereas obviously crushed curries in the regals. So I'm just going to go over these little flowers as well. And there's one flower there that it would be very easy to miss out. So it's, let's see what comes up with that. I said I was going to change the colours, didn't I? And I'm not changing the colours. So let's change the colours. There's yellow there, and I'm thinking on the spot here. I'm just going to put my Daffodil Delight back. And I think this time I'm going to add some, this should be Poppy Parade. Hi Jenny, you've caught me. Good to see you. So a little bit of, this is Corner Bouquet Jenny Celebration stamp set. And I'm doing the repeat stamping technique using the Stamparatus, where I think you can just see on this side I'm using my Stamp and Write marker to colour in the stamp, and then I just stamp it, because the Stamparatus always stamps in the same place. That's really good. So it means that you don't get splodges all over, but you get the detail of the stamp coming out. So that's a bit of Poppy Parade, and now I'm going to use a little bit of Pumpkin Pie just to give a little bit of extra colour. Like that, and then I'll probably use a different colour for some of the other stamps. Do you see on this card I use Blackberry Bliss for those stamps, those flower stamps? So this time I think that I will change that to, let me think on the spot, perhaps I'll go for a blue. So I think I'm going to be brave and go for Coastal Cabana, which I think, and that's Pool Party. I don't want Pool Party, I want Coastal Cabana. So this is going to be for these, I don't know what they are actually, sort of almost look like thistles actually, but I don't think they are. But I'm going to go for those being sort of Coastal Cabana. Then I'm going to take my Gorgeous Grape, and there's these lovely little, what do they like? Grape hyacinths, really, they're like. So let's see what happens now when we add those two colours. Ooh, that's interesting. Could do with a bit of blue over here, though, I think, as well. I wonder if we've got anything we can change to blue over here. I think I might add in the stamp set, there's a little flower here, which is an added extra, which I think I put down here, and I hope I haven't lost. There it is. And I think if I add that, now that little flower I'm going to put in an acrylic block. I'm just going to add the Coastal Cabana because I feel I need a bit of Coastal Cabana this side. And that's the lovely thing about this little flower. You can add it as an extra to put in colour over the other side if you want to. And I think I need a little bit of Coastal Cabana down here as well. That's better. And perhaps just a little bit over there. And then I'm going to, I remember now, I think here there are some little flowers in there. I just pick them out with a little bit of Gorgeous Grape. See what happens when we do that. And we get a little bit of purple going in there, and I think something's missing here. Yep, we've got some little purple flowers here. Let's see if we can get those. This is the lovely thing about this. You can put in extra flowers. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat. I'm very glad they gave us this extra flower. I'm just going to put a purple one in there. And I think I'm happy with that actually. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off the stamp. And I'm going to add, if you notice, there's a large stamp and there's a smaller stamp. And in these cards, I've put the smaller stamp up here. So I'm going to put the smaller stamp up here now, and I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to start inking up this one. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to add the purple first, I think. Gorgeous Grape. So this isn't as dark as Blackberry Bliss, it's the Gorgeous Grape instead. And I might ink up some of the flowers, and I think I need to do them probably in Pumpkin Pie. Let's see, that's a few down here. And there's another one off there, I think. Let's see what that comes out like. And then what I'll do is after that, I shall do the Old Olive. See if I can colour at an angle, as it were. I've got my phone in front of me, hoping that with it on Fanny Stafford's Happy stampers, it might actually show me the video live, but it's not actually showing me the video live. So let me just see if it's notified me. No, it hasn't. Oh, yes, it has. So I'm just going to turn the volume down, and now I know how I can see the comments. Great. Okay, so there we go. Hopefully I can see the comments come up if there are any more comments. So let's carry on with the old olive. I never have quite worked out yet how demonstrators get to see the comments while they're demonstrating. So hopefully I'll get to the bottom of that. Technology is always a challenge to me. Been a big challenge during lockdown and a big challenge now. So you can see that's the old olive, and now I'm going to add a few streaks of mossy meadow here. There we go, just to give a bit of depth of colour. Ooh, I like that. I know I shouldn't say it about my own stamping, but I like that. But I think I want a little bit more orange. I'm just going to stick to the orange flowers and the purple flowers up there. So I'm just going to do this little flower again in orange. Oh, yes. And I think that's enough. Just that one there is probably enough. Okay, so I'm going to clean off this stamp. And I'm going to turn this over, which is the wonderful thing about these plates. You have two plates with the Stamparatus, one here and one at the top. You can do hinge step stamping, and you've got two surfaces. So what I need to do is to put the blackberry bliss away, because I'm not using that one, and I need to pull out, I think probably the gorgeous grape would be good for the sentiment. So I'm going to grab Heal Your Heart, and I'm going to grab Thank You again, hoping that I can just fit it in here. So I think that's straight, and I think that's going to fit in just above the flower. And let's pick it up, and then I'm going to ink it up in the gorgeous grey. Really lovely stamp set to play with this. You could do the baby wipe technique with it and get the flowers all different colours. You can emboss with it. So that Thank You has come out nice, and that's sort of come out brighter. So I'm happy with that. If I wanted to, I could flick ink over it. I could flick Wink of Stella over it. I could even flick Tombow and water, let it dry, and then put the glitter flakes over and have gold specks on it as well. But this time I'm just going to keep it simple. And there you can see that's the finished card, and how it differs. That's brighter, obviously, than that one. That's more regal colours. That looks more brighter colours. And that's the more regal ones again. So I actually think I prefer this one with the brighter colours. So what do you think? Wow, said Jenny. Thanks, Jenny. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Seed heads. Thank you, Jenny. Seed heads. Yeah, you gave me some poppy seeds, didn't you? So thanks for telling me they're seed heads. So there we go. So amazing that a stamp that we weren't too sure about when we first saw it, because it's just in black on white, when you actually get going and add colour, you've got a whole variety of wildflowers there. And thanks for telling me that those are the seed heads there. Might be interesting to do it in browns as well. But there you go. So there's your video for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. Bye.